was Descartes' big breakthrough contribution to philosophy is instead of starting with God and then philosophizing down to the self, he started with the self, kind of like Aristotle, and reasoned his way up to God. Fascinating. Unfortunately, he left us a little dilemma that is called Cartesian dualism. So what Rene Descartes did, he said, okay, we have God up here, and we have two substances. Now, if you remember, I told you the medieval scholastics defined substance as that which is self-conceived and that which is self-perpetuating. And the only being in the universe that satisfies that is God. But Descartes has God up here, and then he has two substances. And one of them he calls mind, and the other he calls matter or body. So you have this mind-body distinction with Rene Descartes. So what you have is an extension of substance or matter, and you have a mind or a soul. Physical and material, very much like the Gnostic dualist. So there's one part of you that's mind, there's another part of you that's body. This is how Descartes is viewing the way we perceive pain. So here we have this sketch of this human, and their foot's a little close to the fire. And so remember, he's coming out of the Middle Ages, so he's not using modern scientific terms, but he says what happens is the animal spirits in the body, when they feel the heat or the flame or the pain, it travels up into the brain, into what he identified as the pineal gland. And we do have a pineal gland. Whether it's doing what Descartes said it was doing or not, I don't know if we can ever know, because what he's saying is happening is the animal spirits in the body that are agitated by the fire resonate outside the pineal gland, which then can send a message down to the part of the body that is in duress, and it will tell it to pull it away. And so he's basically describing the central nervous system before people knew about the central nervous system. And so he's doing it in very archaic terms, but this is quite brilliant when you think about it. The problem, however, becomes when Descartes says mind and matter are such distinct substances that if I want to affect your minds, I have to use my mind to interact with your minds. I can't pick up a 2x4 or a bat and try to beat an idea or thought into your head, right? Now, if I physically want to move you or harm you, I can think bad thoughts at you all day and it's not going to cause you any physical harm. But if I physically punch you or pick up a stick, I can physically hurt your body. So he has this realm of the mind and this realm of the body, but they are so different. Now, let me, I try to do this with my class. I'm not sure I'm going to do it in here. So here I got this coffee mug. And I've been practicing this a while, and I'm through the strength of my mind, I'm going to try to make this coffee mug come to this hand, okay? Just using my mind. You ready? It's ridiculous, right? Even though I have a powerful mind, I cannot move this little coffee mug with it. But I can take this little 99-cent plastic pen and I can move it all over the place, because I'm using a physical object to affect and move another physical object. But there's a problem. Watch this. I want to drink a water. Hand, grab the mug, take a drink of water. I just use my mind to move physical material matter. Why can I move the physical material matter that's in this body, but I can't move it when it's in a mug or a pen or a piece of paper or something like that. Now, if you're into telekinesis, those are people that believe they have the power of mind to actually move physical material objects. But unless you're like a wizard or sorcerer or witch or something, I've never seen anyone physically do that. They've always had to use some physical means to cause a physical reaction. And the same with a mental thing. But every time we use or interact with our mind and our physical body, we are using mind to move matter. And that's a real problem that Descartes left with the philosophical world, is how do humans' minds interact with human bodies? And this becomes the mind-body distinction that becomes a problem for all the philosophers after Descartes. And I don't think it has actually really been solved to this day. So if you have a solution to this one, that could be your doctoral thesis if you want to become a philosopher. Any questions on this so far? So just imagine two columns. We have God, we have a column of mind. So this would be everything like soul, spirit, any non-tangibles. But you see, you could even put God into that category because God is spirit. He's not physical material. And then over here, you have matter. And this would be any physical objects from the galaxies and solar systems to the rocks in your garden. And so you have this physical world, material world, and you have the spiritual mental world, but they can't interact except in the human body. And that is really problematic for this worldview. And so Descartes enters us into the age of reason with this very dualistic worldview of mind and matter. And each philosopher that comes after him is going to have to find a way to deal with it.